Hello class. For today's lecture I have created a presentation about Pompeii, an ancient city that was wiped out within days due to a very massive and unfortunate natural disaster. Pompeii both was and now is a city located 14 miles southeast of Naples, Italy. It is located at the base of Mount Vesuvius, a very active volcano. To provide some background on the history of Pompeii, Greeks and Etruscans established settlements in the region of Campania, also the general region of Pompeii. Pompeii, when developed, became a very popular city, especially due to its amazing climate and soil structure, which provided for amazing crop growth. The city became a hub for trading many goods in Italy as well. Unfortunately, the hustle and bustle of Pompeii was not around for much longer. In 62 CE, a magnitude 7.5 earthquake struck the area around Mount Vesuvius in Pompeii. Many buildings within Pompeii were destroyed, and even parts of Naples, a city 14 miles away, were damaged. After this event, the death toll was likely in the thousands. After this disaster, much of the population left Pompeii, but many chose to stay and slowly repaired their homes and businesses. What did this mean for the future of Pompeii? It could mean that Mount Vesuvius was awakening. In fact, the earthquakes in 62 CE could have very well awakened Mount Vesuvius. In 79 CE, the volcano erupted and completely destroyed Pompeii. Ash, pumice, and other volcanic debris literally buried the city within a matter of hours, killing many from physical impact. On August 24th, an estimated 9 feet of debris completely buried the city. The next day, August 25th, the residents of Pompeii who had not yet died from physical trauma had likely died from asphyxiation from the gases released from the massive eruption. Smaller following equations add an additional 9 feet of debris onto the city, totaling an estimated of 17 to 23 feet of cover. Other cities including Herculaneum, Stabia, and Oplontis were also destroyed. Was this the end for Pompeii? No. Although it may be controversial to say, but the events that occurred in Pompeii preserved the city for modern times. In the 16th century, Pompeii was rediscovered by architect Domenico Fontana. Excavations at the site started in 1748, but the site was not identified as Pompeii until 1763. From 1750 to 1764, Don Carlos, the King of Naples, and engineer Carl Weber held excavations and studies at the site. Many of the employees that were used at the site were unexperienced and destroyed and looted the site of precious artifacts, so there may be important pieces of history missing from the site. Fortunately, haphazard digging was stopped in 1860 when Giuseppe Fiorelli became director of the excavations. He carefully cleaned and documented his findings within the ancient city. Fiorelli even developed a technique for making casts of the bodies by pouring cement into the open areas of ash where bodies had disintegrated away. To the right is a picture of one of the bodies. Fiorelli's technique did an amazing job of reconstructing the bodies, and it showed the suffering within each soul that was affected by the eruption of Mount Vesuvius. From 1924 to 1921, Amito Maiuri took charge of the excavations and uncovered much of the city, including the Porta di Nocera and a stretch of cemetery. By 1990, 2/3 of the city was excavated. This photo to the right is actually a cast created by Giuseppe Fiorelli, and it shows the suffering within the man's face, and many of these casts were created throughout the excavations. So, why is Pompeii so significant to us in modern times and in ancient Roman history? Well, the site is a continuous discovery. The excavation of Pompeii and its amazing preservation due to the eruption of Mount Vesuvius teaches us about the art, economic, and cultural life of Pompeii. The excavation leaves us with a permanent look into history and leaves the mark of ancient Rome for generations to see and learn about in classes just like this.